Hello, hello, lovely listeners.
All of you ghouls and goblins.
And everything in between. Welcome to Across the Veil with Zelda.
And Emma.
Welcome back, my curious cryptozoologists. So, how are you on this beautiful, dark, disgusting night, Emma?
I mean, it's not that disgusting for me. I've had like a nice sunset, chilled on my porch for a little bit. Not to brag.
I'm so jealous. I'm currently recording during California wildfire season, so I have not seen blue sky in like 10 days.
Oh, no. Well, Louisiana just got through the hurricanes.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Marco was a coward, and he was only a tropical storm.
He was a coward and a cat. Sorry, I don't know what ghost took over me.
She just got possessed. We caught it on tape.
I just got possessed a little bit. It's fine. You know what happens?
It do.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us.
It do be like that. It do. But yeah, no, but New Orleans was thankfully spared. But we've been having some other problems of our own, but probably not as hellfiery as California.
That is exactly the vibe. It is hellfire.
Like a sort of like descent through the rings of hell, sort of.
Yeah, Dante's Inferno vibes.
Big time.
You know, baby, I'm feeling them. Each circle of hell, yeah.
Yes, I love going to hell.
Yes, 7 circles.
Favorite activities include
torture.
Taking that sweet, sweet descent into hell.
So you know how there's like 7 deadly sins?
Yeah.
Say you're going to hell. Which of the 7 deadly sins would you be punished for?
Say I'm going to hell like I'm not.
See you there, bitch.
Hey. No, I'd have to go with jealousy, maybe. Not gonna lie. What about you?
Either pride or lust. You know, I feel like those are the sexy sins. It's not. Babe,
like... I'm a choose for you. It's lust.
Okay. No, that's a fair ribbing.
Especially after you've had red wine, it's lust. Let's not.
Okay.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Hey, did you also know there's like 7 virtues that each counteract the sins?
I genuinely did not. What?
The funny thing about them is most of them sound like ironic stripper names. So we've got humility for pride, kindness for envy, forgiveness for wrath, diligence for sloth, charity for greed, temperance for gluttony, and chastity instead of lust.
Honestly, to me, they sound more like Puritan names, like Satan witch trials. Like, I saw Temperance Goody dancing with the devil in the forest.
I feel like there's a Venn diagram you can write.
Yeah, but I want to... How is kindness the opposite of envy? I'm nice. I'm just a little jealous.
Yeah, I feel like that's not entirely correct. I feel like the opposite of wrath should be kindness and the opposite of envy should be forgiveness.
I agree.
But I've never been to Bible school. I've stepped foot in church once, and that was for like a Christmas like service that my parents forced me to go to. So
as a gal who spent a good portion of her childhood hitting up that church, I've never heard that they're opposites. Maybe it's because I wasn't Catholic. They didn't go hard on the sins sort of stuff. Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's also just like a thing that I found on the internet on like an infographic. So that like, because you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Maybe it's just a BuzzFeed article.
But isn't everything always just maybe a BuzzFeed article?
It's true. Everything in life at its very core is a BuzzFeed article or will be.
Oh, goodness.
What are you going to tell me about today, though? Tell me what's going down. What am I going to hear about?
Well, I thought it would be really interesting because the last few episodes were us talking about cryptids from places that we currently are. So I think it would be fun for us to discuss cryptids from the places that we're from. So today I'm going to talk to you about a Singapore cryptid.
That's right. Zelda is from Singapore. That is how cool she is.
Most people don't expect it.
She is unexpectedly from Singapore.
Mm-hmm. Surprise!
But tell me about it.
So I actually didn't know about many Singapore cryptids, so I just Googled it, and I wasn't expecting to find anything. I honestly was going to pick the Pontianak, or that's definitely pronounced wrong, but it's this pretty cool Indonesian ghost lady that we could probably talk about in a later episode.
Okay.
But, surprise, surprise, there is a Singapore cryptid! I just never had heard of it.
Yee! Tell me.
They call it the Bukit Monkey Man.
What?
The Bukit Monkey Man.
The Bukit Monkey Man.
Yeah, so it's actually really funny because I used to live on Bukit.
Oh,
so
shit.
It's a big street. It's a big residential area of Singapore, and I lived there. Like I lived My address was Bukit Timah Road for years and years.
Oh my god.
And I'm dying inside because it sounds so goddamn lame. I mean, we definitely can talk about the cool ghost lady another time, but I really needed to share with you everything I know about the Bukit Timah monkey man.
Well, also, he's your neighbor, or he might be.
He's my neighbor. He's my fun little neighbor. We probably partied together as children.
You could have crossed paths with him at any point.
I really could have.
What's he like?
So Bukit Timah is a largely residential area of Singapore, but because Singapore is kind of an operational rainforest, there are certain parts of the city that are just jungle and have been left to be rainforest. So there's a Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, which is rumored to be home of this elusive creature. Sightings of this creature have occurred mainly in the Bukit Timah area, which is where it gets its name. It's commonly abbreviated to the BTM or the BTMM, and it was really funny because I was researching it and I saw somebody make up like a classification for this cryptid, like, so you know how it's like Homo sapiens are humans? Mm-hmm. So they gave this cryptid the classification Homo bucatimarus, which I just thought, like, you went above and beyond. I love that.
He's a world of his own.
Makes me giggle. So this creature is said to be human or primate-like with a monkey's features, but larger than the typical monkey, and also it walks on 2 legs. This bipedal wonder is said to be between 3 and 6 feet in height, a grayish color. Oh yeah, and it's immortal. Apparently they're immortal.
Oh my god.
Most reports come from Malay folklore. The first reported sighting was by a Malay elder in 1805, which was before Singapore was colonized by Britain. And this person claimed to have seen something with monkey features, but walking on 2 feet in the Bukit Timah area.
How common are, like, monkeys in Singapore? Like, how often?
Monkeys in Singapore are so common, and I have more to tell you, but my thesis is going to be, spoiler alert, this thing is just a goddamn fucking monkey. It's just a big-ass fucking monkey that has learned to walk on 2 feet. Like, we've had multiple monkeys break into our school and terrorize primary school students.
Oh my god.
Like, that's how common monkeys in Singapore are. They're everywhere. It's not rare to see monkeys in Singapore.
All right, but sorry, continue.
So other reports have come from Japanese soldiers during World War II when Japan occupied Singapore. And the most recent sighting was reported in 2007. I've actually found some eyewitness accounts.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote, eyewitness accounts. Please hear that in my voice because you can't see me physically doing the motion with my fingers. From a Singapore tabloid, The New Paper, from current residents who have claimed to see the BTM. Here's a report from a 48-year-old taxi driver.
Give him a voice.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Act it out, baby.
When driving my taxi past the fire station on Upper Bukit Timah Road in the middle of the night, I hit what I thought was a child that ran out in the middle of the road.
Oh, my God.
It was on the car bonnet and then snarled at me. It was like a monkey, but so big. It ran off injured, covered in blood, and holding its arm, which was broken.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. Because this guy, he thinks he just killed a kid. And then it's really an immortal monkey.
He thinks he hits a child. It's on the hood of his car, snarls at him, and then runs off holding its broken arm.
That's so much. That man must have had a night.
Yeah, bad night bonzo.
Bad night bonanza.
The next story is from a 29-year-old housewife who said, I was going to the bus stop early one morning to catch bus 171. It was very foggy and cold. I thought I saw a tramp going through the rubbish bin. However, when I approached it, it called out with a loud animal sound and ran back into the forest. It was gray, hairy, and ran on 2 legs, but had a monkey's face. I was shivering with fear and called the police with no avail.
That's a lot less dramatic.
I know. She was waiting for the bus. She thought she saw a homeless person rooting through the garbage can. It turned around and it was like a monkey, but it was big.
Whoa, monkey, large.
But somehow she was like, that's not just a monkey.
That's more than a monkey.
It's more than a monkey, not quite a man.
Am I a monkey or a man?
The final story is from a 65-year-old retiree from the neighborhood of Bukit Panjang, and it recalled this creature from his childhood. So he's been saying, we were always told as children when in the kampong not to go near the forest at night due to the monkey man. Of course, we never saw it ourselves, but it was always some uncle or friend of the family who had seen it. Once we were shown these footprints near the forest road, and I remember the strong urine smell. Whenever we heard shrieks coming from the jungle, we would tell each other, don't disturb the monkey man.
We never saw it, but when we smelled pee and heard screaming, we were like, that's for sure not a person.
Yeah, no, that's gotta be a monkey man, you know?
That is 100% an immortal being.
Those are the accounts, and that's all the reporting that I've heard about the Monkey Man. And in my professional opinion, that I got for my cryptozoological degree from a university that's definitely real, definitely that I went to, it's definitely legit. I think this thing is just a big fucking monkey. I'm so sorry. There's no other. It's just a big monkey that walks on 2 feet sometimes. Like,
it's just a big old
do not
monkey.
know what else to tell you.
Yeah, it sounds like it just sounds like a monkey. Like, monkeys kind of look like humans, and some of them, they're already kind of bipedal. It's just a big fucking monkey.
I mean, so I did actually a little bit of research because they all kind of described it in the exact same way. It's about 3 to 6 feet tall. It's grayish, hairy,
3 to 6
monkey
feet
features.
is like very...
That's big.
6 feet is a lot bigger than 3 feet.
It's between toddler sized to large man sized.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they kind of describe the fur pattern sounds a lot like the crab-eating macaw, which is a monkey that's super local to that area in Singapore.
Oh my God.
And I've seen pictures of these monkeys. They're humanoid and they're gray. The only thing is these things are much, much smaller than reports of the Bukit Monkey Man. So these things they wouldn't be anywhere near 6 feet tall, maybe 3 feet, but they're pretty small.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically almost definitely one of those.
It's probably just a big monkey. So as for popular culture, the Bukit Monkey Man was actually mentioned in an episode of Bones, which is one of my favorite TV shows. In season 6, episode 18, The Truth in the Myth, there's a TV host, Terry Bemis, and he's discussing the creature before being interviewed by Booth and Brennan. So it's appeared in popular culture before. Like, people talk about this thing. It's just a monkey. And really, all I have to say on this topic is that Luther from the Umbrella Academy, go home. Like, you don't need a vacation in Singapore. Like, what are you doing?
Get out of here. Go back to the moon, man.
Go back to the moon.
You're unwanted in Singapore, especially on your old street. Did you ever see any, like, gigantic monkeys on your street?
I mean, I guess when you're a kid, monkeys seem big because they're about your size, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah. I feel like it definitely could be just like a local legend, like things parents told people, like, oh, stay out of the forests. Like, it's dangerous to go into the forest anyway, but I think if you give it more of a mythical or a creature in there to, like, blame stuff on, but there's not any reports of it doing anything to people. People see it and it hisses and runs off. Mm-hmm. So it's not unfriendly, it's just shy and probably just a big monkey, but, you know, who's really to say?
Yeah, I mean, what proof do we have that it's not actually an immortal monkey man?
Well, I think the strangest accounts are that it started from Malay folklore in, like, the 1805, but was picked up by Japanese soldiers in World War II when Singapore was being occupied. So yeah. I don't know how these soldiers would have gotten accounts of the creatures that they would have believed.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That's the only point for me where I'm like, I mean, because we don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, we've only explored, like, so much of the ocean. We don't know what's in there. It's kind of one of those where it might be smarter to believe this thing may exist than just write it off.
It could just be a whole new brand of monkey, yeah. I mean, like, that's the point of a cryptid. It's just, like, an animal that hasn't necessarily been discovered yet or classified actually.
Yeah. But, like, this thing is obviously some sort of, if it even exists, it's not like an alien or it's not like creature from another world. It's some sort of biological, definitely earthly thing.
Faux show.
You know?
Definitely. My only question is the immortality.
Yeah, why is it immortal?
What about it makes it immortal? Like, where did that... Is there supposed to be only one? Can he breed?
Maybe there's always supposed to be one, but also it's like, are you sure you're not just seeing a bunch of different monkeys and you can't tell monkeys apart?
I feel like you're just bad at figuring out different monkeys.
Like, I feel like that's a difficult thing. Like, you see enough monkeys, they'll start to look the same. We're real cryptozoologists and fake zoologists.
From the real university.
From the very real university that we haven't given a name to yet.
With the real degrees from the real university, it has a real name that we attended.
It definitely exists.
That along with our performance degrees.
So, Emma, what do we have in store for us next week?
We're going to be taking a little break from our monsters and our cryptid to go into ghosts for one episode because I was trying to find monsters from the area where I'm from, which is like just outside of Philadelphia. And turns out just outside of Philadelphia doesn't have a lot of monsters because it's the suburbs. Crazy.
Maybe the monsters are the suburbanites.
That's where they are. That is what the monsters are. But Philly is haunted as fuck. And I found a place that literally it's right across the street from where I grew up, like right across the street, that I had no idea was super, super haunted. So I got really excited and I'm going to talk about that. But that's all the spoilers I'm going to give for now.
I am so excited to hear that, and I hope the rest of you are too.
Yeah, then we'll get back into some little creature stuff, but a little bit of ghosts. And also a murder.
A murder?
Literally a ghost and a murder happened in this place. And they're separate somehow. Well, multiple murders, but there's a recent murder that I didn't know about, which was pretty shook-a-thing.
Shook-a-thing.
Oh, shook-a-thing. But yeah, so that's what's coming up.
That sounds great. Before we end this episode, I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for your wonderful feedback and positive reviews.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make a quick note that all of these episodes are entirely written, directed, produced, edited, and marketed by the two of us. We don't have a big team. We're just two creepy loving gals.
It's just two girls.
It's just the two of us. So we really, really appreciate all of your support.
Mm-hmm. Thank you from the bottom of my soulless shell.
Thank you from the bottom of the place where a heart should be in a regular human chest.
Thank you from the place that pumps black bile and tar within me. No, but honestly, it really, really means the world to us. And if you have any suggestions on creatures, cryptids, happenings, even ghosts that you want us to cover, please Instagram DM us, leave a comment on our Instagram, or leave a review on iTunes and maybe have a little side note in it that says, hey bitches, I want you to talk about Bigfoot or something.
Yeah, and if we end up picking one of your suggestions, we will definitely give you a shout out on the podcast. We want to spread all the love to all of our followers because
yes, we do.
You're our little gremlin baby children, and we love each and every one of you.
We really, really, really do. It makes us so happy. It makes our days. So we'll see you next time across the veil.